Ni hao, I'm Arsala, together with my partner Hannah, and welcome to Sit and Talk with Han Sala.
Why are you speaking Chinese?
Yes, partner, because today we're going to talk about Chinese way of communication and their etiquettes.
Before we bring you to our destination today, let's watch this first.
China is one of the wonders of the world. This country has a lot of panoramic scenery, attracting people all around the world. China was one of the earliest civilizations. This country is known for its historical events. Mandarin has been the only language used in education in the mainland since 1950s. A single conversation with a wise person is better than 10 years of study. Chinese proverbs.
Are you ready to explore China? There's a lot to learn. To find out, let's welcome our guests for today.
I'm so excited to talk with our guests today, since they have an experience and knowledge about Chinese communication or way of communication and their etiquette. So let's start with my good friend, Miss Loy Salas. Hi Loy, I heard you're in China right now, so how's your trip?
It's quite good. I love the scenery and culture as well as the people.
Oh, that's nice. Wanna share something about your trip?
Actually, I've experienced this last time. I was walking in the mall and then suddenly someone stepped on my toes, and not every native Chinese is likely to say sorry. Instead, they tend to talk about the whole issue. I was expecting a simple sorry from her, but she explained everything and I was literally speechless. I really like on how Chinese handle or solve some certain issues.
So you really respect their way of communicating.
Indeed, I really respect their culture a lot. Chinese people are really self-conscious about their accents and movements.
Thank you for that, Loy. Keep safe right there.
I'm going to show you some videos and we have some guests that are qualified to explain it to us. Let us welcome Desiree and Andrea. They are exchange students from China.
大家好, I'm Desiree, second year college here in Xiamen, China, major in Chinese studies.
你好，我是 Andrea, also a second year student here in Xiamen.
So guys, what did you learn about Chinese way of communication?
We both majored in Chinese studies because we find it interesting and the Chinese culture is awesome.
Chinese culture requires a lot of patience and reading since China has many dialects. In our almost 3 years staying here, we learned that Chinese people are very polite. They may sometimes a little shy, but their way of communication are very unique. This includes bowing to someone who are superior to them.
I once met a teacher and she taught me the Chinese calligraphy were used back then and until now it is being used in some parts of China, which is really great because we get the chance to learn the real Chinese calligraphy. And in school, because it is modern era, we use Kakao Talk, we talk, and text messages is a way of communication if we are apart, and we talk in English and Chinese in school.
Can you explain multiculturalism?
Sure. First, multiculturalism is the view that cultures, races, and ethnicity, particularly those of minority groups, deserve special acknowledgement of their differences within a dominant political culture. Multiculturalism plays a vital role in our school also to us as an exchange student. At first, it was not easy adjusting since we are raised from different environment and culture, then suddenly we will gonna study in totally different environment. We have classmates who are multiculturalists. They help us to adjust, they show respect to us, and they try to understand us. As a return, we show respect to them and we are more determined and willing to study more deeper about their style of communication.
Thank you so much, guys. Study well and enjoy learning their culture.
So let's proceed to our next guest, Mr. Tesoro, CEO of STI Telecom, together with Miss Angel, also from STI Telecom, all the way from China. They are here to share with us about their workplace environment. Okay, this video will give us an idea about Chinese workplace.
Literally, most workers don't have too much work to do. Some people even need to do nothing, just sitting here, playing with their phone, drinking tea, or chatting. At the same time, waiting for lunch.
So, hi, Mr. Tesoro and Miss Angel. We are glad that you both are here. So, how do you communicate in your office?
Good day, everyone. The different ways of communication in an office setup, basically talking, facial expression, gesture, and more. Because of this pandemic, we communicate right now through Zoom and other apps.
Yes, Mr. Tesoro. We are in difficult situation right now since we are in pandemic. So, what are the different etiquettes that the Chinese observe?
First of all, before and after conversation, they bow to show respect. They always address someone who is professional as Mr. and Miss. When you are introduced to a group and they applaud, you applaud back. They are happy to meet you.
Thank you so much for this, Mr. Tesorio and Miss Angel, all the way from FTI Telecom in China. The video that you watched is related to our next guest.
Mabuhay, how are you there?
We are fine here. How about there?
We are perfectly fine, thank you. So, how do you communicate with your Chinese employer?
We cannot talk straight both English and Chinese, so we use sign language or Google Translate.
And also, we also draw if we really can't understand each other. Language difference is really a big factor, but we use different methods to communicate.
Okay, so let's move on to our very last guest, Miss Ariel Chua. She's a half Filipino, half Chinese. She's going to share with us about being Chinese and Filipino at the same time.
你好，我是蔡仁妮，我是一个菲律宾中国人。Being raised in a Filipino Chinese community, my family taught us different ways on how we communicate with other people. In the Filipino community, we usually do a mano or beso with elder relatives or people. We also use the words po and opo as a sign of respect. In the Chinese community, it is also more or less the same with what I learned in Filipino community. We also respect our relatives by calling assigned names to them. We call our lolos as angkong and lolas as ama. It is also important if they talk to you in Chinese, you reply back in Chinese as well. In school, we were taught to bow every time we greet our superiors, such as teachers and principals, wherever and whenever we are, such as hallways and classrooms. It is also important to stand up before greeting, bowing, or shaking hands to a superior. Example, in a classroom setting, we would stand up the moment that the teacher enters the classroom and wait for her to say something before we greet or bow to her. The difference of Chinese the difference of Chinese ways and etiquette of communication than other languages, mostly from Western, is that Chinese culture is important to show respect above anything else, whether we know the person or not. Because we believe that each person we meet is a part of our future businesses.
Hi explorers! We'll share some facts today. Did you know Chinese people would more likely to talk with each other from a distance?
Don't point at people, especially when talking or gesturing. And definitely do not point your finger at someone is considered hostile in group.
Do be a good sport. If you visit China and look like a foreigner, common people on the street will show their interest in you. Chances are they will ask to take picture with you. Regardless, whether you agree or not, just say thank you, smile, and enjoy.
We have an amazing tour today. We learned a lot of things about Chinese people, their culture, language, especially their style of communication and etiquettes. Chinese style of communication is deserved to be respected, and yours also.
Yes, you are precisely right, partner. Learning about our differences is also knowing and understanding everything. We may have different culture, language, tradition, or way of communication and etiquettes. I think if we have respect for one another, I think we can avoid conflict.
And now, let's listen for our Edu Talk song for today.